All right. Well, new year, new seasons. Today I'll be presenting you Live Stories Season 2, Episode 1. It'll be a little bit different this time. Not all the times, but this time. This is going to be a solo endeavor. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, why? You always have commentary. I like hearing the unique voices and opinions in the background. This is a little too swoozy. It's like, well, I mean, that's not really an insult, but I'm not really the animation type. Hence why there's always game footage or Discord in the background. But last I heard from popular statements, you guys preferred that I utilize, actual things to look at. So if... And my cell phone goes off because I forgot to put it on silent and or vibrate, of course. Anyways, you guys prefer having something to look at during these videos. Not just, a stark, empty screen or just my Discord background. So with that being said, I'm going to just give it to you straight. One of the primary reasons why this particular situation is a solo endeavor is because, well, the person who this indirectly is about is pretty popular and famous. And I'm not trying to stoke no flames of fire and hatred. If anything, they'll probably find this comical. But it's more so I don't want them finding out in case there's an awkward situation that happens at some point. Because apparently, of all the people who are indirectly mentioned in this, there's a distinct chance that people would actually find or know how to find them to show them this. So, he's pretty big on YouTube / VR chat stuff and Twitter. So I don't really need to promote him or anything. Not that I wouldn't. It's more like I'm not tagging or linking to him because I kind of don't want him knowing about my awkward story. Everyone else involved, well, I don't think they're going to give a shit. And if they do, well, if they have an issue, we can discuss that in private at some point. Anyways, all right, so let's get into it. Now, I don't remember what particular year this was or time frame, but it was, well, pre-COVID. Back when the cooties weren't everywhere and prevalent and you could go to places like conventions and not have to worry about shit. There was this guy. Actually, you know what? Let me say that for later. I went to a convention, and this particular convention had an entire section where there was an open bar. And since I'm not a fucking teenager, despite what everyone seems to want to think when they listen to this YouTube channel, I don't know. I'm an old man, I promise. I'm just not wrinkly yet. I keep my fingers crossed though. I went to the bar because it's Thursday evening. I got there early. I don't like dealing with parking lot congestion a lot if you know me. So I got some time to myself. None of my friends have shown up yet. So really I'm just people watching, costume watching, seeing new faces, and possibly, just getting to know new people. Unlike most men in my age group, and I know this sounds a little bit fucked up, I'm not going to stare at somebody I'm going to beat off to later. B, I'm not here to just oogle somebody and see if they might be slutty and I can smash them. I really just come because I like seeing different outfits and sometimes having cool, fun, or deep philosophical conversations with random strangers that stop being random strangers after a while. And if it leads to something else, it leads to something else. I don't plan for it. My goal is to enjoy myself, and I can enjoy myself without getting my dick wet. Plus, again, I'm not a teenager, so there's always a 50-50 chance whoever I'm talking to or who's gaslighting me up for some bedroom activity, so to speak, is a teenager. I am not a cradle robber or a pedophile. Not sure if you can say that on YouTube without getting demonetized, but when have I ever cared about monetization? Unless we get a Patreon or something. Anyways. Alright, so at some point in time, I started to notice this very, very, for lack of a better term, adorable looking, attractive woman coming up the escalator. Now, I don't say anything particular, but the bartender's like, God damn. I was like, oh, bro, I didn't know we still said that. Oh, I'm sorry. Like, no, it's fine. Like, I'm not insulting you for thinking she's beautiful. I'm saying literally the phrase, God damn, I thought it went out of style. Oh, no, good sir. The classics never go out of style. You're right. So I started talking to the bartender. Now, this girl goes and sits down somewhere, and we just glance over, and he was like, well, that was faster than normal. 7 people are now sitting at this table or near this table with this girl. I was like, well, I mean, she is hot. I don't have a white girl, obsession or anything, but I can acknowledge when someone is dropped dead. So, after a while, one of my friends notices me, and we come over and we start talking. And eventually, he asked me what the crowd was over there. Me and the bartender told him, like, some really hot person just came in, sat down, and now they have a crowd in less than 2 minutes. Like, they're not that hot. I was like, well, I mean, you didn't see them. Well, come on. I was like, Maggie, what do you need me for? Come on. I haven't seen you in like 8 months. Okay, fine. I'll go over there. But look, if people start getting this minion or simp belief coming my way, I'm out. Now, for those who don't know, I'm nobody's bitch. And the few women in this world that can make my heart stop at the drop of a second, A, they had to put a lot of effort into it, or B, it's more like we're into the same stuff almost one-to-one, and you're so hard to find that I want to keep you around and my heart stop. And let's be honest, those situations where it's almost one-to-one of everything you like, they don't happen for a lot of people. So, I'm just over here to just prove a point, so to speak. The bartender, waves us off. I tell him I might be back. Nothing too serious there. So we get over there, and it turns out they weren't necessarily crowding around this girl. This girl had Triforce Uno, or Zelda Uno. Now, for those who don't know, because, well, sometimes they're hard to find, sometimes they're not. You can order them online. I've had it for a while. There's actually an iteration of Nintendo-themed Uno. I'll try to have a link or a picture up on screen, where there are Legend of Zelda-themed Uno cards. But unlike regular Uno, there's actually a new card that's called the Triforce that has a different effect. It's even mentioned in the instruction manual, the thing no one has ever read for a game of Uno ever in their life. And they were just explaining it and having games, because apparently, she didn't mind letting people borrow her deck. So she was posted up on the wall looking cool as fuck. Not gonna lie. I don't know what it is about girls leaning up against the wall, acting like they don't give a shit about nothing. Turn on. Not even gonna deny it. So I go and bring Maggie, or at least I think that's what her name was. Unfortunately, when you learn convention nicknames, sometimes you overlap their actual name with it. Maggie, I was like, hey, look, Maggie, who it is? And Maggie's like, no, where's the girl? The fuck you mean? Maggie, this is the girl. Oh, honey. Now, anytime Maggie says, oh, honey, I know I'm not going to like the next thing that comes out of her mouth. Not that I have a problem with it, but I just knew it was ominous. And she said, that's a dude. Damn, damn, damn. Now, we're not that far enough away. And there's about 5-6 people around us. And she just go, and a lot of people just go, what? What? Who? So then out of nowhere, he just goes, hi. Now, I'm not going to try to emulate or imitate his voice, but the dude was legit. That voice was masculine as fuck. Now, I'm shocked staring at this person, looking like they could be a supermodel for Sports Illustrated. And a bunch of people turn around and stuff, some taller than me, some shorter than me. And apparently they didn't notice I was there, that me and Maggie had walked over there. They just heard that's actually a guy or something like that. And I start feeling elbows and shoulders and whatnot hitting me in 3 or 4 different directions. So I know the people who did this are taller than me. And on reflex, I jump up, chop them both in the back of the fucking spine. And everyone's like, whoa, calm down. It was an accident. It was an accident. And it was like, what the fuck's going on? It was like, okay, so when you guys turned and whatnot and moved that fast, you spilled some of your drink on this guy and you also hit him. I'm sorry, bro. I was like, so we're not fighting. Okay, fine. Hey, look, maybe I overreacted, but I thought I was being purposely assaulted. I would still defend myself, but I don't know. Maybe I could have toned it down to some. I don't know what I should be saying, but I feel like if someone is strong enough to admit they made a mistake, I should admit that maybe I did or could have reacted better. But I don't really know in that situation because all I saw was elbows and shoulders and felt wetness touching me from all sides. So, yeah. And they went and got me a napkin from the bar, or a bunch of napkins from the bar, and we got to talking, and all the girls suddenly started following him. Well, not following him, but more crowding around him while the other people were playing Uno with his cards. And he was just like, oh yeah, I like to, my sister told me that I kind of sort of look like the Moxie character. think that's his name. Yeah, Moxie. And my sister even noted that his girlfriend looks kind of like I do. It's like, so you've just always been androgynous? No, I'm not androgynous. I wish I was androgynous. I just look like a girl. Comes in handy sometimes. It's like, and in the back of my head, and I look at Maggie, and I have an eye conversation with her. My words weren't moving, but my eyes were communicating. I said, Maggie, what the fuck does he mean by that? She looked at me and shrugged her shoulders, which basically meant, bro, I don't fucking know. So we just talked to him. He's like, hey, congratulations. You legit pulled it off. You know, blah, blah, blah. Thanks. Shook his hand and walked back off. So now I'm going back to the bartender, and he already got 3 people that he's serving, and he looks at me with like, what the fuck's going on? Because I look like I just watched somebody down the side of the street or something, and he just goes to the other end of the bar and he's like, what's wrong? Bro, that's a bro. What do you mean? Oh, one of those male gender? No. That's a guy. Are you shitting me? So now me and this bartender are just having this conversation. Maggie apparently didn't follow suit, and she decided she wanted to play Uno. So here's what we don't know. The bartender's like, do you think... And he starts reaching down for something. So I'm like, you dropped down pretty fast. Like, did he fall just now? So I try to lean over and look at him. And the next thing I hear is, hey. And someone's touching me on my back on my back. And I was like, what the fuck? Oh, hey, it's you. Do you have a name or something? What do I call you? You can just call me Ben. For the first time ever at a convention, I'm assuming the name I'm given isn't a nickname or an alias. So I was like, oh, hey, Ben. I was like, oh, so you drink a little bit? Well, not that often. I can almost count every drink I have in a given year on because there's so few. I was like, oh, okay. Well, hey, let's get something to talk. I was like, shit, if you buying, okay. So I'm talking to this dude for 10 to 15 minutes, and he tells me about how much he hates wearing skirts because he feels like it looks weird when he doesn't shave his legs, so he shaves his legs, but then he always feels a breeze. So then the bartender starts getting in the conversation. We all talk a little bit and whatnot, and then he told the bartender he had a sister. He's like, oh, you have a sister. Now there's an awkward silence for like 5 seconds, like, she's not here. It's like, well, I wasn't asking. No, it's okay. I hate her ex-boyfriend, and she keeps trying to get back with him. She needs a distraction. So I just start laughing. So we have a little conversation, ended up about how Chrono Trigger is like a prequel to Xenogears, that whole thing. And I leave. And I thank him for paying for the drinks. I give him, I give the bartender $3 or $4 for a tip. So that way we end up in a situation where legitimately fucking, we just all leave on good terms. I think the bartender is pretty cool too. So I text Maggie, he's like, hey Maggie, enjoy your games. I'm heading out. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm feeling a little bit sleepy, or I might just go and give me some solid food. I don't like to go to bed when I've had booze in my system and nothing to follow it. So the cafeteria is not open because they're getting ready to open up bright and early tomorrow to feed everybody and upcharge their fucking prices, which it really annoys me, but that's a common practice. A lot of places, when you go to their plazas or food centers in a convention, their prices go up if they know there's a lot of people that are going to fucking show up. There's no reason water should be $5. Fancy water from a luxurious mountain or some shit, premium water, yeah. But a bottled water, Ice Mountain, get the ever-loving shit the fuck up out of here. But I'm not going to beat that dead horse too much. Anyways, so I eventually do find some place that's open, and it's not too far. And all of a sudden, 5 minutes into me ordering something, hey, Ben's back. I was like, oh, hey, what's up? Yeah, you was hungry too? Oh, yeah, there was nothing open. This is like the closest thing. So you came in. Yeah. And instead of sitting across from me, Ben is sitting next to me. I was like, hey, bro, we both kind of tall. You don't think you want to sit on the other side? Oh, does that work better for you? I was like, I mean, yes, it's not, I have nothing against you. Like, I'm comfortable around you. I'm comfortable around you too. I was like, that was kind of cheery for some reason. And he said it loud enough for people in the immediate area to look at us for a little bit. And I was like, oh, no, my arms are pretty long. So in my torso is medium length. I just needed the elbow room, literally. I wanted the elbow room. Oh, okay. So all of a sudden, he takes off his green jacket, and the headband he had on, that it was facing upward where the knot was, almost in the center of his head. He flipped it backwards, and I was like, oh, that kind of looks better. So why do you keep the headband, knotted headband thing, facing completely upwards? I was like, oh, well, see, look at the character. And he showed me the character, aviator sunglasses, which, I'm sorry, those things always look weird on small faces. Aviator sunglasses, a headband or head wrap tied up, but the ends of it are facing upwards, and the knot is almost dead center in the head. I was like, oh, you were being character accurate. Okay, I get you. Yada yada, and a hot pink ass skirt. So we just started talking. Food gets there, we eat, and now I'm legit done for the day. So we both walk back. However, I see Maggie coming down. So I wave at Maggie, and Maggie starts running towards me. And I was like, Ben is like, holy shit. I was like, what's wrong? Nothing. And Ben grabs me and says, hey, let's go over here real quick. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? So I'm like, bro, did you get into a fight with Maggie or something? It was like, no, I didn't get into a fight with Maggie. It was like, do you know her or something? No, I don't know her. That seems like a very unusual reaction to have to her, though. Now, at this point, I have nothing to do. But as people know, I love hearing hilarious stories, awkward stories, and things of that nature. I was like, it's not that big of a deal. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to bed. I'll see you tomorrow or something. And yeah, if you're going to pull me somewhere, warn me. Oh, we're in the same hotel. I was like, yeah, well, hey, it's the one connected to the convention. Might as well, right? Right. So I go off and mind my business. Now, I get off on a different floor. At this particular convention, I believe I have a suite, or what we like to call the Smash Suite. But we had to stop doing that because people assume it's a room where we're having sex, or it's one of those legendary convention orgy rooms. It's not an orgy room, okay? It's not. Smash Room was because we played Super Smash Brothers in the suite. It's very, very hard for a lot of people, or at least, you know, my crew and my people that I know, to play 8-player Smash Bros. No computers. We like doing that, but it's a rarity. So we called them the Super Smash Suites, and eventually it became the Smash Suites. But we obviously had to stop calling that after a while. But at this point in time, we haven't stopped doing that. So I'm in the room, and they're talking about some really, really hot chick. Everyone apparently thinks is a man. I was like, I have no idea how this conversation started. I was like, you guys mean Ben? Hey, pass me a controller for Smash. Ben, who is Ben? It's like, okay, does the dude wear sunglasses, a green jacket, hot ass pink skirt? It's like, yeah, it's a guy. Ah. Now, for those who don't know, that's the international sign for straight man is now sad. You know, a lot of my friends aren't, you know, in a closet, or they're comfortable with their sexuality enough to admit certain things. I'm in a position where I've never thought about a relation that was of a sensual nature with a trans person. But even if I was, I wouldn't like try to hide it or anything. But seeing as how when I see an extremely stunning, drop dead gorgeous trans anything, my first thought is, man, I wonder if they have a sister. He has a sister or she has a sister. I don't know, the gender thing mixed with trans, sometimes they can go either way. So I just say they most of those times when I'm not sure yet. And that's about it. You know, I'm not going to treat them like they're some pariah or they got some type of cootie. Unlike Ben Shapiro. But I digress. Anyways, all right. So, playing Smash Brothers, and someone tells me about this hilarious meme or tweet or something with somebody named Synthetic. I was like, oh, that's actually a pretty interesting convention nickname, Synthetic. You're not gonna run into anybody named Synthetic. And also, fucking, we just ragged on not, and we realize this is negative, or this may be perceived as negative, but it was more done in a joyful way, not in a I hate you for doing it way. We ragged on how many people we know who try to name themselves anything with the word Sakura in it, and act like that shit's original. So, Yeah, that went on for about 5-10 minutes. Then at some point in time, they showed me this synthetic cosplay person. I was like, man, this motherfucker got a baby face. Cool eyebrows, though. Yeah, that's what you notice. Now, I'm the type of person that gets a little bit offended when someone assumes I immediately am thinking something dirty in a situation where I didn't have a reason to. Is synthetic hot? Synthetic is bacon. Genuinely bacon. No one hates bacon. If you don't like bacon made from pig, they got vegetarian bacon. You don't like eating anything that was alive, they got vegan bacon. Everyone likes some form of bacon, except Canadians, because they have Canadian bacon, and it's not real bacon. Therefore, it is ass. That's right, Canada. I'm coming at your fake ass bacon. But anyways, so this ends up in a somewhat I'm gonna beat you in Smash to prove my point situation, because I've gotten to a point where I honestly don't give a shit when someone's decided, man, you secretly like this motherfucker. First off, last I heard or checked, synthetic cosplay is barely old enough to drink, or at least at this point in time is barely old enough to drink when I'm seeing these images or whatnot. And I don't think any thoughts of it because I ain't trying to do shit with a teenager. So it was more along the lines of, look, my whole point is, while I'm beating your ass, like I mentioned earlier, contrary to popular belief, which there was in that room apparently, I don't come to conventions for ass. I like meeting new people. Yes, there are some hot people, but I don't meet them just because they're hot or go to them or towards them because they're hot. That's simp logic. Simps throw around money that they ain't got. It's that simple. And I am not in that situation. And I don't want to be in that situation. But, you know, after about 15-20 minutes of discussing someone at this one, I've only seen once and never really met before. And we all came to a mutual agreement. I was like, okay, well, A, you're not gay because you don't want to do anything of a particular nature to synthetic. And I'm just like, thank you. Also, that's still kind of fucked up because I'm not into the same person you into. I'm magically gay. But look how hot she is. It's like, but look how old I am, motherfucker. It's a teenage situation. Contrary to popular belief, I'm going to say that a lot probably. Men of a certain age do not always just want to fucking go grab a teenager. That's rich people may do that a lot, but that's actually not all that common because the thought process behind it and the assumptions made by people you know, love, and respect can be altered. Should you care? Only to a certain degree. You can't base your entire life of how someone feels about you and how you treat yourself. But at the same time, if you want respect, you have to give people reasons to respect you. And if you start acting like, I don't know, a certain orange president, an orange ex-president, or I don't know, your local dirty old man who looks like he should be on an episode of Jerry Springer, you're not going to find a lot of people who are going to believe you. So normally I stomp those things out as soon as they show up, or I give up after a week. Yeah, fine, I'm fucking attracted. I want to do everything people said I want to do, even though I never said some shit like that. Personally, and this is just a side note, I didn't end up even getting on synthetic social media until maybe a whole year or two after those images were shown to me. Like, I completely forgot who the fuck they were for a decent chunk of time, which people still say I'm bullshitting about, and I'm secretly can't admit to myself I'm gay because I didn't say I wanted to do certain things to synthetic. Sometimes you just can't win with people. I've learned to accept that. Anyways, so we had the conversation, played Smash, went to sleep. The next day, I had 15 text messages in my sleep. It was from Maggie. I was like, hey. That was half of the messages. I'm not even joking. Like, Maggie, what the fuck's going on? Read up. I'm like, stop typing the same thing and then texting it once. Damn. Hate when people do that. If you got a paragraph, state your paragraph. If you got a sentence, say the sentence. Don't give me word, text. So, I look at these messages like, hey, and then they read something like, hey, Ben's gay. Well, I don't know why Maggie thinks that's a problem, but it has to be more than that. Like, I heard he has what you normally refer to as a backwards migration pattern. It's like, and now spider sense is tingling a little bit. Now, for those who aren't gonna know, when I say someone has a backwards migration pattern, what I usually mean is that somebody of a particular ethnicity likes someone of the opposite tint of their ethnicity. So if you're black, you like white girls, you know, I would say that. If you're white, you like black folks, I would say that. Or, you know, something of that nature. Because shit like jungle fever, yellow fever, I don't understand how the fuck that's not racist. And I don't mean, oh, liking somebody out of your race. No, far from it. Go right ahead. I mean the phrasing. If you have a strong attraction to African American people, jungle fever? Bro, no. So I say just backwards migration pattern or some other fun pun or colloquialism I can mix into a pun. Ask anybody who knows me. Sun's out, my puns is out. And the sun's comes up every day. Anyways, like, hey, I'm just saying, you know, if you two get in anything, let me watch. So now I just go back and I start putting emojis of the what the fuck, bruh, or the flat face when it's all 3 lines and whatnot. Let me see. Can I show you guys on screen real quick? I'm gonna cut back to my Discord. This one, the expressionless face, for lack of a better term. Also, the face I make when people tell me I'm gay if I'm not sexually attracted to synthetic. It's like, oh, it couldn't possibly have anything to do with a drastic age difference. But you're into the same shit. Shut the fuck up. So it's how the people I meet at a convention. Anyways, what ends up happening is I basically read that she thinks that I'm going to be converted, or not converted, or open a new door or doorway, as she put it, in my sexual endeavors and whatnot. I'm just like, Maggie, I'm not fucking gay. I just had last night a bunch of people deciding I'm gay because of one person who I haven't even met yet. Who was it? Like, nope, not even gonna try with Maggie. I know Maggie's bisexual. I don't need her ass up in my face over a teenager. Or at least I think she was a teenager at this time. I don't know. But anyways, so I was like, look, Ben's cool. It was entirely platonic. Never hit on me or anything like that or said anything that even could be remotely considered sexual. Well, why did he run when he saw me coming? Hey, Mags, you do know that you have this unfortunate habit of saying something or implying some sexual shit around gay dudes, and they don't hate you, but they are all practically creeped out by you. No, I don't. It's like, hey, Mag, you remember that talk I had about boundaries and social distancing, ironically, before COVID? Well, yeah, but what did that do with me? You kept trying to fucking poke and rub a gay dude's 8-pack because it was poking out through his shirt. And then he started moving away, and you kept moving closer. Oh, is that bad? Now, I've known Maggie long enough to know that, you know, she's not going to kidnap anybody or go and take a bunch of gay dudes, throw them in a pit with oil, and just force them to do anything. I fucked up that reference, but you get the point. But sometimes I feel like Maggie grew up in a bubble. Because the fact that she thinks and can't process that what you did is a form of physical, if not sexual harassment, or both, let's be honest. I sat up here and I was basically starting to have one of my patented heartfelt or philosophical random conversation I have at a convention. Like, Maggie, just because you don't have a penis doesn't mean you can't do fucked up shit like you've seen people with penises do. Do you not understand sexual harassment works both ways? And a lot of dudes ask me like, hey, why are you still sitting in the room and stuff? And, you know, I was like, I'm having a conversation with Maggie and whatnot. I was like, oh, that one. Now, some of my straight friends don't even respect Maggie, but Maggie's a cool person. The problem is that Maggie can't keep hands to self around gay dudes. And it's a fucking problem, or at least it used to be. Anyways, so eventually, I go back downstairs. It's Friday. Shit's crowded. There's people around. I wave at some people I think I recognize and whatnot. Here comes Moxie, a.k.a. Ben. I was like, oh, hey, there you are. I was like, oh, hey, what's up? Hey, you want to go get some drinks again? It's like, now my spider sense is legit going the fuck off because it is 10:30 a.m. Don't get me wrong. You can drink anytime you want to. It's a matter of severity for me. How strong is what you're drinking at what point in time and day? But anyways, it's 10:30. I was like, nah, I'm more like a food thing. Hey, tell you what, I'll pay for breakfast. Like, wow, this is the nicest guy ever. I don't know why Maggie was so scared he was going to try to convert me and do some crazy stuff she got from some porn fantasy she probably shouldn't be looking at. Not because there's anything wrong with gay porn, but because she's the type of person that thinks that everything that happens in a porn happens in real life all the time or something. I don't know. Maggie was weird back in the day. Like this was a long ass time ago. So I started talking to him. I was like, some of my friends and other people, bro, I'm gonna just say, man, they thought you were out here trying to get me to do some like, sexy stuff with you because supposedly, oh yeah, I'm into Nutella. I get deep into Nutella. I would like to thank my brain for not putting a mental image to go with that sentence in my head. But I digress. I was like, oh, now, I'm a little bit jumpy. Not because, I am uncomfortable around gay people, far from it. Not even in the slightest have an issue with them. I've slept in a bed, I've slept in a bed with gay people at conventions before. Nothing happened, came up missing, whatever. But my brain starts putting together, hey Zax, I think in the middle of proving that you're just not a pervert, which is why you don't say or do anything like sexual around synthetic. I don't know why I said it right now. I haven't met her at this point yet. And I don't know why, but you do realize that this person bought you free drinks after they saw you at a bar, then follow you to go eat, and is now paying for your breakfast. You've done the 90s courtship dance without the sex. So I was just like, hey, you know what? Tell you what, let's go Dutch on this. Oh, no. I'll pay for the whole thing. No. Tell you what, I'm going to cover the tip this time again, but I actually pay for half. So we get to talking, we're laughing, and he starts asking me what type of girls I'm into, and I'm about to bring up the whole conversation I had last night where people decided I was gay because, again, I wasn't into synthetic cosplay in a sexual way, which, man, I think almost half the shit that happened the entire convention was just triggered by the fact that, you know what, not even going to go there. I don't think she'll see this, but I kind of don't want to have to deal with it either in case she figures out who I am or something. I don't know. She seems cool, but I don't know if she'll like get mad at me or just laugh at me or make fun of me. Hard to tell. Anyways, so what ends up happening is I tell him I have to go do something, or you know what? I left my badge in my room. Hey, what room are you in? No. I'm in a group room. We have a rule. We don't give out rooms. Oh, okay, well, I'll be around. Yeah, I'll catch you later, Ben. So I get around the corner and bolt. Get back in my room. I actually did leave my badge. And when I get in there, I call Maggie. It's like, Maggie, yeah? I think he was trying to fuck me. Man. Well, how did it feel? Maggie, I said, I think he's trying to fuck me. Not we did fuck. Well, by the way, is he trans? Like, I didn't ask, but since I use the word he all the time, I'm assuming probably not. Maybe, I don't know. So, anyways, fucking, what ends up happening? Wait, I already said that part, but yeah. So we get to talking, and Maggie meets me downstairs, and we basically just come to an agreement. It's like, hey, I'm not making any assumptions about him or anything, but oh, just give me $20. It's like, give me $20. It's like, well, I mean, if I'm going to pretend to be your girlfriend because you're too scared to ask, hey, are you gay and attracted to me or trying to fuck me? Like there's something wrong with that. Man, there is and there isn't something wrong with that. But I'm also scared to fucking just say that to somebody because it feels weird. It's like, if I just go up to a random stranger who did something nice and was like, hey, you trying to fuck me? That would feel weird to me. I know a couple girls that do that. Fuck, girls have done that to me. I've given them free shit just because I didn't want it. And they basically said, hey, just so we're clear, I'm not going to fuck you, which I feel like that's rude as shit. But I get it. Stereotypes happen, or they've dealt with people who've done similar for shady reasons. And, I was going to hang out with Maggie anyway. Maggie's one of the funniest people I ever met at a convention. I genuinely do like hanging out and talking with her. So We basically hang out the whole day. We was already going to go to some of the same spots anyway, so we didn't really have to go out of our way to do anything. And then we get to around 8:30 at night. Boom! There is Ben again. Hey! Oh, thank God you didn't sneak up on me and just rub my back a little bit again. I was like, oh, hey, Ben, what's up? I was like, oh, man, where you been? I was like, I was just going around doing the convention stuff. Ah, cool. Well, I'm pretty much done for the day. You mind if I hang out with you? I was like, yeah, I'm sure my girlfriend won't mind. He's like, why did you yell that? It's like, oh, sorry, I thought I had a sneeze. No, I just, I wanted to emphasize it because this is a new interaction for me. Again, not interacting with a gay person, but someone who may or may not want to try to do stuff to me and is gay. So Maggie comes out of the bathroom and he's like, oh, hey, Moxie. It's like, have we met? Oh, no. I just know your character's like, oh, you said that like we've met before. Maggie knows Ben's history, so to speak. Not that Ben has done anything nasty in case Ben sees this, because, I don't hate Ben. Last time we talked was before the pandemic, but, I don't want to imply that he goes around targeting straight people or some BS like that. And he's like, oh, okay, well, hey, nice to meet you. My name is Ben. Your boyfriend's pretty cool. I've been hanging out with him a lot. Like, oh, thank you. Yeah, it's just really hard to find friends, that, aren't magically homophobic or try to throw the I like you, but my God says you suck, friends that are, minorities or black or something. I was like, that happens to you a lot? I was like, a lot. I was like, bro, you won't believe what happened to me last night. So I basically told him the whole synthetic story. He's like, yeah, that actually does happen a lot. I was like, the fuck? Wait, you know synthetic? Oh, no, I've never met them before. I don't even know who she is. But I mean, it's very common for guys when we get together to assume that if everyone in the room except like one or two people don't, sexually like somebody that everyone agrees is pretty and whatnot, that guy must be gay or closet gay. It's like, oh, so that happens to you a lot. But when they say you're gay, yeah, they're actually right. I am gay. So what's a synthetic person look like? It's like, okay, you're a gay person. I don't know why you care. So I texted one of my friends. I think it was Joshua or Bobby. And I said, hey, send me a picture of synthetic. Shit you not, this is almost verbatim what the text message said. Thine eyes hath finally been converted to the true side of bacon. First off, stop hamming it up. Someone who is gay wants to see synthetic. Everyone loves bacon. We established that. What I'm saying is, I'm not trying to touch or eat any bacon. A, that's not probably going to last longer than 5 minutes. B, is a teenager. Because I don't care if you're legal or not. I'm at an age where, well, first off, my rule is I only go 10 years behind and 10 years in front of myself. And whoever this is probably not that. But also, look, I'm going to tell you right now, no matter how beautiful a woman, a stunning or beautiful people think synthetic is, and I'm inclined to agree. Look, anybody you meet at a convention, anyone you know in real life, if they're beautiful, you don't know if they are a psychopath. You don't know if they are fucking entitled and spoiled. You don't know if they're rotten to the core as a human being, if they're a sociopath, they think they can get away with anything, or if their whole point in life is to just be a lazy ass bum. Nothing like that. And again, not saying synthetic is anything like that, which, yeah, I'm defending her even though she's never going to see this shit in the first place. But I don't use looks as a barometer to judge how I should feel about people, because I know too much shit gets fucked up in life for any and everybody when things like nepotism because someone's pretty shows up, or loss of logic and money shows up because someone is fucking beautiful, which synthetic is. And then I started explaining this logic to Ben. He's like, bro, that's actually pretty smart. Most people here, or at least young people, aren't going to even understand that yet. It's like, most young people aren't going to understand that yet. That was unusual. So Maggie puts him under his arm and grabs my arm. So guys, where are we going to go today? It's like, you mean tonight? It's like, yeah. So we just all go on a rave and hang out and party for a little bit. Then after that, we watched the equivalent of anime hell, or just one specific room designated for comedy related to anime, some of which are X-rated, so they do it at night, 18 plus panel, blah, blah, blah. So I can confirm Ben is over 18. But that old people line kind of bothered me a little bit, because he said that like, oh no, that young people line kind of bothered me a little bit. Like, when you like, What do you mean young people like you're not young? So we're about to call it a night. Maggie's like, hey, look, I see a guy I've been trying to eye for about 3 months now. Make up a reason for us to leave so I can go and, try to get somewhere. It's like, did you just text me while you're standing right next to me? He's like, yes. So he doesn't know what the fuck we're doing. He's like, okay, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay. So we decided Maggie wants to go hang out with her little sister, and she might need a tampon or something because she's experiencing cramps. Perfect exit strategy. Women, anytime you want to get away from something with a dude, say cramps or that time of the month. We already know not to fuck around at that point. So I'm sitting here with Ben, and me and Ben, we're about to eat. However, I'm staying physically in the center at this point. So we start eating. And he's like, so you from Florida? I was like, no, but I don't have to pay like $200 to get here, and the flight is not even 2 hours. Like, oh, Michigan or Illinois? It's like, Illinois. It's like, how did you fucking know that? It's like, oh yeah, I used to live there. Yeah, it was pretty fun. Oh, you used to live there? What part? I'm like, West Town. I'm like, oh, rich boy. It's like, not really. It wasn't always super expensive. My family's been there, and I just moved later. I just moved about 20 years later. It's like 20 years later. So you spend a lot of time in, Illinois. Is like, oh no, I spent a lot of time in there. Like I said, it was 20 years ago. I was like, okay. Now my spider sense is really getting set off. So he says, hey, I'm getting a little tired. Puts one of his legs on my lap. And I just paused. Just kidding. Takes his leg off. I was like, now everything that happened earlier today has now been undone on some level. And I'm back to square one of, is this mug trying to fuck me? I know some people have come to a convention to explore their own sensuality. It's dumbest place to do that. Be like everyone else. Just go to college. But this shit got weird. So I was like, hey, you know what? You've been so nice to me. I'm going to buy you a drink. Not an alcoholic one. What do you want here? It's like, no. Let's go back to the alcohol place. Right? So I come back to the bartender. He sees me. And I just got up the escalator a little bit fast because I like to hop up escalators. Moxie's not about to risk that because Moxie's in a skirt. Might give everybody a free show. So I get back there and it's like, oh, hey, so what did you and your girlfriend doing? Oh, she's not actually my girlfriend, but she was like pretending to be my girlfriend. Bro, so here's what happened so far. Now, I basically abbreviate up to the point where basically he confirmed that he wasn't trying to do anything or implied it, and then put legs up on me and then took him down like 5 seconds later. It's like, well, fuck, it's like you're back to square one. That's what I said, bro. So Moxie was like, hey, the same bartender from last time. Yeah, okay. And blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh, hey, my sister's here today. What? And I was like, man, this bartender horny as fuck. So I was like, hey, before you go or something, oh no, my ship doesn't end for another hour. Well, I can get my sister to come up here if you want. It's like, are you from this state? It's like, yeah. It's like, oh, you were completely serious about you want your sister to date and get around anybody that isn't her ex who keeps trying to get back with her. Oh, hell yeah. He used to smack her around. I was like, yeah, let's get her up here. Let's just get her up here. So now, the whole entire time, they're talking. We're getting to know each other. We're getting to watch. And his sister, what was her name? I think it was Marcella or something. It was like Marshall with like a low or something. But Marcella was like, oh, so is this your new boyfriend? It's like, no. What? He's not my boyfriend. It's like, no, I'm actually not gay. It's like, how long you been hanging out with him? His sister just said that in such a way that everything just started falling into place. So he immediately just starts laughing. You're funny. You're being funny. It's like, oh, okay. So the bartender looks at me and he just gets back to talking to her because, hey, look, any issue I'm having is secondary at this point. So I stand up slowly and I'm about to walk. I was like, hey, I'm going to find the bathroom. And he just goes, wait, come on, man, let me go with you. He's like, whoa, bro, that's a little bit awkward. You don't go to the bathroom with other guys. Like, oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, especially with me wearing this. Hey, I'm going to go change. Like, okay, you do that. And then he says, catch you later while I'm still walking away. And he puts the Uno cards that he had, or he puts a pack of them or a deck of them in my back pocket. So then he walks off. He's going to go change. I pause. I freeze. I look back at the bartender. He looks at me. Again, this is a eye conversation like, bro, he's totally trying to fuck you. And his sister's looking at me like with this, what you gonna do now, bitch, kind of face on. And I just run off. I run off. I can hear his sister laughing in the background. And anytime I saw him for the rest of the convention, I just ducked and dodged him because I couldn't ask, but I didn't want to assume. But the way shit was going, what would you have done in this situation? Seriously, tell me in the comments what you would have done. Also, like and subscribe. Yeah, I actually said it. You know, everyone in the crew's happy. They want me to say that. But yeah, I would love to know how you guys would have handled that situation in the comment section. So yeah, that's the end of this life story. But Zax, why did you do this without, a whole crew around? Well, for one thing, Moxie is extremely popular. I don't want to get like a random text message or phone call from Moxie one day and he just goes, "You got a pretty mouth, boy." And he's just making fun of the whole situation and blah, 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 blah. Also, I don't want Nico knowing about this because anytime I do anything that involves somebody implying that they may want to do things to or with me that's not a straight female, Nico gets her rocks off to that shit. Or she'll go try to find them and show them these things. I don't need her trying to put me in awkward situations. I know that's one of her life goals. Can't say I blame her. But I don't want it happening. So if I can avoid it, I'm gonna. All right, with that being said, that brings this unusual awkward situation in my life to a close. Just for, to put a summary ending bow in this little knot. Eventually Maggie bumped into Moxie, or Ben, sorry, later on at the convention on Sunday or something, added me or tried to find me on social media, succeeded under a completely different name from both Moxie and Ben. And we started talking, and I have yet to bring up, asking the question of, were you trying to bang me at that convention? And the rest has been platonic history, so to speak. That's pretty much it. I don't have to worry about Synthetic seeing this, or rather not finding out if she cares or not. I mean, technically she wasn't really integral to the story, but more like just woven into it. I don't know what the term would be. Supporting, indirect supporting character. I don't know. And, but yeah, she doesn't go to my shit. I think I sent her a link a long time ago to like the story of one of my friends who set their ass on fire. Episode 6, I believe. So if you're watching this shit backwards, go look at episode 6. And, yeah, I will see you guys when I see you guys. Unless you're Moxie. The actual Moxie, the guy. Then I'm going to run away from you probably. And have a small heart attack and also possibly quickly get away from your girlfriend. All right. Catch you later.